Welcome back to the Drive channel, and today I'm standing in front of the 355 because it has once again become that time where I have a bunch of things to do on the car. These are things that were there since I bought the car, and now with the weather getting a little bit cooler, I can attempt to tackle them at this stage. So hopefully the weather will be a little less humid and a little less hot. And I'm going to run down the list of some of the things I'm hoping to do while the car is down here. And so just to give you an idea of some of the things, I want to clean up the calipers, possibly clear coat them. The paint on the calipers is good, but they need, like, the clear coat is starting to chip off. Skid plates. I have bought these skid plates for the front of the car because the front air dam has like these little, I don't know what you would call them, these little tongue pieces that stick down, and they grab on things and they get scuffed up. So this will hopefully prevent that. So I'm going to install those. Pop-up headlights fixed. The pop-up headlights stopped working immediately after I bought the car. Shocks and coilovers. I'm going to try coilovers at all four ends on this car. So I'm going to use the coilovers, the aftermarket coilovers, as kind of a holdover, and while I get the other ones rebuilt. So and it's actually very expensive to get them rebuilt, more than it costs for the coilovers. Delete the drive block, that's really easy. Replace the speedo sensor. I have a speedo sensor here because the speedo is working a little bit intermittently. Very expensive part. I'm going to replace that. What else am I going to do? Yep, I have to fix the toolkit. The strap that I bought for the toolkit was brand new, but it wasn't properly sized. That's a real easy thing. Also, I think I'm going to re-grease the CV joints, because when I replaced them, I was in such a miserable state because it was more work than I anticipated. I don't think I adequately greased them. So that's what I'm going to do over the next couple of weeks, perhaps several weeks, who knows. And stick with me because, yeah, it's going to be an interesting adventure. All right, so top tip, you might want to record the ride height. So I have at all corners a little piece of tape, and I measured the ride height. That's actually 26 inches and three quarters, like 26 and 3/4 inches. So I measured it actually from the wheel center, right at the center of the hub, to the top of the arch. And it doesn't really matter how you measure it, as long as you measure it. And they're all pretty consistent, 26.8. Interestingly, the ride height in the back is a little bit higher, 27.75. Yeah, 27.85. So they're very, very close. And I don't have any problem with the ride height. I'm not going to try and lower the car. I just want it at the factory ride height. And so that's one way to do it. And just when you're on the roll, this happens. Okay, so while it's up in the air, it's always a good idea to check any movement on the wheels. And I don't know if you can hear this or not, but there's a tiny bit of movement side to side. So what that means is that the tie rod, probably the outer tie rod, which is it's really dark, you can't see that, but the outer tie rod is probably a little bit worn out and needs replacing. And so these should really be done in pairs. So I'm just going to add that to the list. They're not too bad. I just priced them out. They're about $89 a piece. I'm sorry, $89 for a pair. And so I'll replace those. I have to take the suspension apart anyway, so it's not a big deal. Okay, so this one should be fairly easy. So these are the two pieces. They basically go under the car, under the air dam, on these little things over here. That's probably too dark. Okay, and yeah, so here they are. I just have to bolt these on. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to hold them underneath using double stick tape, and then once they're being held by the tape, I will drill the holes. You don't have to take the bumper off, you just have to take off there's a little sort of access panel, which is just underneath here. My car didn't happen to come with one, so that'll be easy. I do actually have the panel that I purchased right over here. So this will be all good to go. I'll put that back on when these are installed. Okay, so all right, so very simple. There's the tape on there. I'm just going to tape it to the bottom of the air dam, and hopefully that'll keep it in place, and then I can drill the holes here. And then you just have to go in, just reach around to put the hardware, and these came with all of the hardware required. So we'll see how that goes. So as you can see, there's a little bit of, I have a little bit of scraping already on this. That's why I wanted to install this. This car is going to be driven. So I expect this to not be some kind of garage queen. I'm going to drive it, and that's why things like this are going to be necessary. But now on to the second one over there, and it's the same thing. So basically I used tape to hold it in, and once it's in, I could drill the holes, and the holes will be perfect because I'm just using the actual plate as a guide. So on to the next project. Okay, so there you have it, another small project on the 355. Really, most of the work was putting the car up in the air, and so once the car is up in the air, that's when I like to do multiple jobs. So that was probably the easiest. So we're still going to do the shock absorbers, and we're going to do coilovers all around, fix the speedo, pop-up headlights. As I was putting the under tray in after doing the skid plates, it occurred to me that I should leave them off because that's how I can access the underside of the headlight buckets. So I'll be able to do the pop-up headlights next, and then we'll move on. I have probably something like 7 or 8 projects to do on this car while it's up in the air. So I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss driving it, but it'll be worth it so I can get a few things done, and hopefully this car will be really getting good by the time I hit the road again in it. So if you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. I like all of the comments that you guys leave. So leave comments, and I will talk to you, and I will see you in the next video.